and we are fulfilling. I remind you, there were those who said at the beginning of the war, well, we need to get used to the idea that we won't be able to bring back even one captive alive. I thought differently and acted differently. I believed that if we apply pressure on Hamas, heavy military pressure combined with heavy diplomatic pressure, we can indeed bring back all our captives. And that's exactly what we did. But I also tell you, to put it mildly, it was not easy. I had to withstand tremendous pressures, even at home. And also from the outside, pressures not to enter Rafah, pressures not to seize the Philadelphia route, pressures not to act in other arenas, pressures to stop the war and withdraw from the Strip when Hamas, Hezbollah, the Assad regime, and Iran are all at the height of their power. But I firmly rejected all these pressures because I had one and only consideration in mind, the security of Israel. And that means achieving the objectives of the war, including the release of the hostages, removing the nuclear and ballistic threat from Iran, which endangered our existence here, and breaking the Iranian axis, of which Hamas is a central part. Despite all the pressures I mentioned, we continue to fight in Gaza and throughout the entire region, until President Trump entered the White House. We returned 158 hostages to Israel, of which 117 were alive. Some of the hostages were freed in daring, heroic operations by our forces, which you remember and recognize, and bow your heads to the fallen. After President Trump entered the White House, we brought home another 49 hostages, both living and deceased, 10 of them in additional daring operations by our forces. But still, the hardest challenge remains to bring home all the remaining hostages, 20 live hostages and 28 deceased hostages. And you remember commentator after commentator, evening after evening, day after day, they explained to us, there is no way on earth to bring back the hostages without surrendering to the main demand of Hamas, that the IDF completely withdraw from the Strip, including from the perimeter, including from the Philadelphia route, including from the controlling areas, with all that implies. Here, too, I thought differently and acted differently. I knew that if we entered with force into the last stronghold remaining in the hands of Hamas, the city of Gaza, and if we destroyed all its power centers, Hamas would want to save its rule. I also thought that if we add massive diplomatic pressure from our great friend President Trump to our massive military pressure, this powerful combination would cause Hamas to return all our captives, while the IDF remains deep inside the Strip, holding all the controlling points, and that is what is happening. In this way, we are gripping Hamas. We are gripping it from all sides towards the next stages of the plan, in which Hamas will be dismantled from its headquarters and Gaza will be demilitarized. If this can be achieved the easy way, great. If not, it will be achieved the hard way. I want to clarify in the sharpest and clearest way, anyone who says that this hostage deal was always on the table is simply not telling the truth. Hamas never agreed to release all our captives while we remain deep inside the Strip. Hamas agreed to the deal only when it felt the sword on its neck, and it is still on its neck. Hamas agreed to the deal only after Trump's plan, which I agreed upon with the president in Washington, isolated it internationally in an unprecedented manner. At the current stage of the plan, we are focused on the release of our hostages, and I must tell you that in my heartbreaking meetings with the families of the hostages over the past 2 years, my wife and I have shed tears. It cannot be otherwise. The heart breaks, the heart goes out to them. I promise them, the relatives of the hostages, I will not give up on anyone, and I will not give up on anyone. Indeed, all the captives will return to us. In the coming days, with God's help, we will bring them all. Alongside that immense joy of their return, they will face the difficult task of physical rehabilitation, mental rehabilitation, and the entire nation of Israel will embrace them so they can stand on their feet again. We will bring the fallen captives to a Jewish burial. We will work to locate all of them as soon as possible, and we will do this as a sacred duty of mutual responsibility. Citizens of Israel, on this emotional day, I express my gratitude to our heroic fighters in the IDF and the security forces since the outbreak of the war. They stand
who acted many
to reach an agreement for the release of the hostages. Warm thanks to the head of our negotiation team, Minister Ron Dermer, and the entire negotiation team. They did dedicated and creative work to bring us to this point. Citizens of Israel, 2 years ago, the holiday of Simchat Torah turned into a day of national mourning. This Simchat Torah, with God's help, will become a day of national joy. Joy for the return of all our kidnapped brothers and sisters. The name of the operation returning to their border is taken from the promise to Rachel, our mother, in the book of Jeremiah. And the children shall return to their border, and sons and daughters shall return to their border. 2 years ago, we emerged from the jaws of fear and waged a fierce battle against our enemies. Thanks to your resilience and determination, citizens of Israel, we have withstood difficult tests, achieved great victories, victories that are changing the face of the Middle East. But as the Chief of Staff said, the work is not yet finished. Great challenges still lie ahead of us, but also great opportunities. Together we will face the challenges. Together we will seize the opportunities. Together we will complete our tasks. And together we will expand the circle of peace around us. Thank you very much.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app now.